What's up, my earthly and universal family? Got some more PE for you, positive energy. Y'all know that's the Most High and the Most High only. DH8, don't hate. In the last segment, I am his eye, the beauty of blackness. I mentioned the Babylonian captivity, and that was a precursor to me talking about tribal mixing. But the only thing is, you can't talk about tribal mixing unless you know who the tribes are. So I wanted to start this origin of tribes with Adam, part 1, and then we'll go down the lineage and the other parts, and in each segment I'll tell you which part is coming. And so this is the origin of tribes, Adam, part 1. Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. Adam is created, and then Eve, rib taken out, she's created. They become one. You know how the story goes. You can read it. Okay, now, Genesis chapter 4, verse 1 and 2. Cain and Abel are born. Yeah, mom and daddy got busy. All right, now, Genesis chapter 4, verse 8. Cain can't solve his differences without murdering his brother. So here we go. All right, now, Genesis chapter 4, verse 16. He got to get punished for the murder. You know, you do the crime, you got to do the time. So he's exiled from his family to a whole nother land, the land of Nod, somewhere else. He's excavated from the line of Adam. He's got to start his own line over somewhere else now. Okay, now we have Genesis chapter 4, verse 17. Now, Cain starts his own family. You know, he got kids popping off. Where his wife came from and all this other stuff you have to read in other books. Find out the missing parts, just like I mentioned in Beauty of Blackness. At the end of that, I tell you how you can go to other books left out and taken out, and you can find other information. But he starts his own family over in this land of Nod, far from the line of Adam, his own line. And they partying over there. They making cities and this, yeah. Read other books to find out about that too. All right, now you have Genesis chapter 4, verse 25 and verse 26. Seth is born. So now Adam and Eve have another son to continue their line because Cain killed the only other brother child they had. And so Seth is born. And he's a different breed. He's after the Most High. And so now, here's the strange thing about when he was born. In Genesis chapter 5, verse 3, he was born 130 years after Cain was exiled to punishment in another land. So now again, you've got to go to other books to explain what happened to Adam for 130 years before him and Eve had Seth. And Cain is getting busy having families, making cities, they partying, and you got multiple marriages starting. Here we go. So you got to read that stuff. Okay, so now, Genesis chapter 5, verse 4 through 32. From Adam and Eve having Seth, you got the lineage to Noah now. And then in verse 32, Noah has 3 sons, Japheth, Shem, and Ham. Yes, I said Japheth, Shem, and Ham. You know why I said that? Go to Genesis chapter 2, verse 21. Japheth is the oldest son of Noah. Who told me Shem was the oldest? I'm confused. You been there the whole time? Oh, okay. Yep, that's what I read. It's in there. Don't believe me, go read it. Japheth is the oldest. And out of these 3 sons, in Genesis chapter 9, verse 19, Genesis chapter 9, verse 19, these 3 sons, these 3 tribes, the whole earth was filled with these 3 tribes. And notice I did not say these 3 races, these 3 tribes that were never meant to be races. But anyway, like I said, go read the other books because the omitted, copied, left out, removed stuff, plagiarized stuff from the Bible. The loose ends can be found in other books. But this is the origin of tribes, Adam part 1. We'll go next to the origin of tribes, Japheth, part 2. His first son, Gomer, and his second son, Magog. To be continued. Love y'all. DH8, don't hate.